and he's joining us today on the show to share with us a little bit about him. So let's get started getting to know you, Christian.
Yes, thank you for having me, Patrice.
You're
I'm
welcome.
happy that I'm a part of this thing that you're doing. So I'm currently working as a graphic designer under contract with a company called Pro Planner.
Okay.
They are located in Iowa, and I'm currently working remotely for them. Basically, just creating web components. And the previous project that I did for them was creating a marketing video for them. So that was fun.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I'm also a tech degree student learning front end web development right now.
Okay. Cool. Cool. So, how many years have you been in the working in the industry?
I would say I've been working in the industry for about 4 or 5 years. And
Okay. All right.
I
So you
started,
can.
um, I went to school in Pittsburgh at a place called Pittsburgh Technical College, and I studied design there. And then when I graduated, I've done odd design jobs like your usual flyers and t-shirt designs. So mainly when I started off, I was doing freelance work and
Okay.
just trying to get as much as work as possible, when I was living out in Pittsburgh.
Okay. All right. Cool. So let me ask you this. This is a fun question. Give me 1 to 3 words to describe your design style.
1 to 3 words. Okay. I would definitely would say that one word would describe my design style would be clean,
Mm,
simple, and really and and straightforward. Basically, I
okay.
know that's 2 words, but
No, I said 1 to 3, so you gave me three. We're good. And having seen your website, I agree. Those are the 3 words I would use. So yeah, and I enjoyed looking at your portfolio. So you do a lot of illustration type work as well. What I saw in your portfolio. So I wanted to ask you another fun question. If you could add a feature to Adobe Illustrator, what would it be?
adding a feature on Adobe Illustrator, I think a great feature on Adobe Illustrator would be kind of um, I I believe there is kind of something like that, but basically just taking like a raster image and just making it vector where it's just and it just
One
looks,
click.
yeah, just one click, and I don't have to sit there and do the pen tool, which is fine, but
Yeah, yeah.
I think that would
We
be
all have that one thing that we like, "Ah, if this software could just do XYZ, it would save us so much time." So when I looked at your portfolio, I was thinking about all the time you spend in Illustrator, and I was looking at curves and, um, the variation of the thickness of the different strokes and things like that. And I was like, I bet you he would have a dream feature for Illustrator that he would like to be added.
oh yes. There are definitely other things that I would like Illustrator to probably provide, for I guess for free, because most of the stuff that I use on Illustrator I bought. For example, like brushes and
Hmm.
swatches, like custom swatches that I use um, through my design work. I think it would be great if Illustrator had more variety, a lot more variety.
You know, and I think you're onto something because they started with the Adobe fonts. So why can't there be Adobe brushes
Yes, yes, absolutely.
where it's an expanded set and it comes with your plan?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
for sure. And another thing besides like just my experience, I would definitely like to just see like a place where students especially can go and use the Adobe programs for free.
Hmm.
Kind of just like a place where they can actually get their work done. Because when I was doing design work when I was living in Pittsburgh, there were definitely times where I couldn't even afford the
Mm.
Adobe programs, and I would have to, do like a torrent download of like an old
Hmm.
software and do that. But I think it would be great if there was something like that, out there for young designers and designers who are coming up, where they can go to a place or where they can use those tools for free, so they can really build their skill set.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea too. So, what would you say is your proudest item in your portfolio? The one you're most proud of?
Um, well, I am currently rebuilding my portfolio, and you know how that goes. You're just, it's never
It's
enough.
a constant churn.
But currently, right now, my proudest work would be that marketing video that I created for this for the company that I work at.
Okay.
Really a learning curve, because because um, basically they asked me to create a video, and in my head I was like, I don't even know how video editing works. And
Right.
but I took the initiative and done my research to really figure it out, and I came across this software called Toonly, and it's basically an animated marketing video software that I basically learned from scratch, and also designing the video for them as well, and going.
That's impressive because video is not easy to just tackle. So, do you think that it's safe to say that they assume that because you did design work that you would automatically know how to do video?
I would say so. I definitely encountered people who have approached me, and they want everything under the rainbow. They want me to build an app for them, and a full stack website, and et cetera, et cetera. But it's funny
So,
that people ask for these things, assuming that and you don't want to be like, I I don't really know how to do this. You kind of just want to be like, yep, and hope for the
well,
best.
I don't anymore, but I'm too old. So wisdom has taught me not to do that to myself anymore. But um, I know that even with video, there's different types of videographers. So I had a friend who was working on getting a video done for her dance company, and she thought of someone to help her. And she said, well, I'm gonna use this person. And I said, well, that person doesn't do, like, you almost need someone who does sports video because they understand how to give that much lead room for the motion and not miss out on anything, rather than a person who maybe shot a wedding, you know, or something. Like, it's a different type of image capture, and a person's eye and their timing and all of that has to be in line with that type of movement. But the fact that a lot of people don't even really perceive what the skill set needs to be able to do something like that well.
Okay.
But I applaud you for this video. And how do you spell Toonly?
Toonly, it's Toonly. Toonly.
Okay, I'm
Toon-
gonna write that down and look up because I'm just curious
Oh yeah,
about it. I always like looking at new software. Okay, all right. So, what industry have you designed for the most? And we're going to count college, freelance, whatever leading up to now.
I would say that a lot of my designs that I've created were mostly for indie clothing brands.
Oh, okay.
A lot of the stuff that I've designed was for, for like t-shirts and hoodies and other promotional products that these clothing brands kind of use. I think that's a lot of my experience has been with that. And I do love doing that too, just, being a part of collaborating with a clothing brand, especially because I do love, clothes too. Like I really buying like, those cool, brands that people haven't really heard of. And
Hmm. So, what was I going to say? Is there like with the indie clothing? I'm thinking about the market awareness because this is normally a up and coming or newly started, or they don't have the presence that a Tommy Hilfiger or what I can't even think of other designers because I just don't focus on that anymore. But um, are you encouraged to push the envelope a little bit in the design? So, or is it more reserved that gets attention? You understand what I'm asking you, right?
yes, yes, absolutely. Um, I definitely, when it comes uh, through my process, I definitely like to go through like a brief almost, and have a meeting like this and kind of just go
Hmm.
through the designs that they wanted, for example, for like a t-shirt. And I kind of, I give, you know, my insight and kind of just show them, 3 or 4 different examples. And I ask them, which one did you like the most, or which one did you really not like the most, and kind of just go from there. And we just keep working for for the right results. But for the most
Yeah.
part, when I do collaborate with these clothing brands and I do um, the design work for them, they kind of just really know what they want. They're just like, oh man, I like
Oh,
that. We're
okay.
gonna just go with this and go
Good.
ahead and get it produced. And so I've been lucky on
Okay.
that.
I think it's more than luck. I think you really know how to deliver the value and you have a good sense of perception as far as it's a balance between what they want and what you think is good for them. So what you produce, you know, it's top notch. And
So
that's what we all want.
yeah, a lot of
So,
things. Definitely a way that I approach design. I definitely always say to myself is, it's not always about me. It's about
right.
the the people that I'm doing the work for.
Mhm.
And I think that type of mindset has helped me a lot, uh, producing designs.
And it will continue to help you. When we can see ourselves as service providers rather than know-it-alls, we tend to have happier clients and they tend to want to collaborate and seek our guidance and our expert feedback, when we approach it that way. So, what challenges have you seen across the indie clothing industry that they're trying to overcome?
I think a lot of the challenges that I've seen personally would be the them having a website to, uh,
Okay. Listen out, website designers. He's going to need your help.
uh, it's funny because a friend of mine, he's starting his clothing brand, and he was asking me like, man, I'm missing something. And I kind of was just like, well, do you have a website up? And he was like, no, I don't. And I was like, and I kind of just gave him advice on, hey, if you need like a website up by tomorrow, use this website. And
Mhm.
I usually tend to point to Wix.com, because that's definitely a great place to where if you want an e-commerce site up and ready and get it going, then Wix is the way for that, for sure.
And I remember Wix from years ago when they first started. So I didn't remember them being so secure back then. So I haven't looked into them, but I'm sure to keep up with the times, they had to, up their game with security, especially now. The hacking is just nonstop. The fraud, and it's just, it has skyrocketed, especially during this pandemic time when we're all forced to be online, more. So I'm sure they had to really get their game to the next level for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even know that Wix was so vulnerable like that.
Well, I'm dating myself again. So this was years ago when they first launched and they were trying to get people to use their website. So their website platform. So I really, how when you're in a space and you look at something and that tool doesn't work for you at that time, and then you really 4 years later don't even look back at it again because in your mind that didn't work for me, you know. But I'm sure people who looked at Zoom years ago said, "Oh no, we can't use Zoom," you know. But now they've made so many advancements and learned from the feedback from their customers about what works, what doesn't work, what they'd like to see. That's part of being that good service provider that you just mentioned earlier in working with your indie client. So that's how you build the sustainability, you know. Yeah. Okay. So I have one more question for you. All right. Why do you think it's important for designers to know their worth?
It That is a great question, and I'm definitely an advocate of breaking the stigma of how design should come at a cheap price. Like I definitely
Hmm.
am a person who wants other designers to really know their worth and their value. And I think the reason why is because I we as designers we understand how important it is when it comes to doing advertisement and how powerful artwork can be. And I think when it comes to uh, at least America, we definitely have devalued art
Hmm.
art art forms in a way. And other countries, I feel like they really appreciate the artistic person, or they really value that even more. And I think the reason why people, um, especially here in America, they think that, oh, you should just do this for exposure or for whatever, is because
Hmm.
because um, they're just so used to just having it, just done right away, and they don't really appreciate the process like that.
Yeah, we don't have patience and we don't want to learn how things are put together. We no, just do it, you know. Yeah. So I agree that is the mentality in America. We want stuff really fast. We're the microwave mentality.
Hmm.
Everything is quick turnaround, fast. Let's get it done and let's do it as cheap as possible,
Hmm.
and not really factoring in what it takes to make it happen. Yeah.
And
So, do you have anything else you would like to share with us?
oh yes, I definitely wanted to just drop a couple gems on this video for people who are watching this or who are going to watch this. But just a few books that I've just been reading in the past couple months. And the first
Okay.
book is called Keep Going by
Okay.
Austin Kleon, and it's basically 10 ways to stay creative in good times and bad.
Oh, good. Okay.
And just another book that I've read is called The Politics of Design.
Okay.
And basically, this book is about how
Who's
um,
the author of that one?
the author is Ruben Pater.
Okay. All
And
right.
yeah, the book is basically about how in politics, especially, design plays a major role
Hmm.
in in the political world.
Yeah, and we've seen that in the last few months. Um, how much design was and thought was put into the whole campaigns, the election campaigns and things like that. So um yeah, but thank you for sharing those too. I'm definitely going to check them out because
Yep,
I've not
that-
read either one. All
awesome.
right. So give us your website so everybody can get in touch or look at your
Okay.
um
Yeah. So basically, if you want to get in contact with me, you can reach me through my email. It's cjglova@gmail.com.
okay, Glova, Glova. Okay.
Yep.
All
And
right.
if you and also if you want to check out um, my Instagram page too, it's
Hmm.
um, it's Christian Glova _.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Christian. It's
Thank
been
you.
great chatting it up with you. And make sure you are interacting in the group because we definitely want to keep in touch.
Oh yeah.
And thank you so much.
You,
Have
yeah,
a great one.
you too.